This video is about the idea of winner take all in crypto and in money. You can see the tweet on the screen. Essentially, you see this argument from a lot of no-coiners and shitcoiners. They're fond of saying something to this effect: why won't something else come along and replace Bitcoin? Bitcoin is legacy tech. Bitcoin is slow. Bitcoin can't scale. Something else will come along and replace it. This argument rests on a few mistakes and misunderstandings about what Bitcoin is and the real technological revolution that it represents. So that argument rests on seeing things through this traditional lens of technology companies disrupting existing legacy technology or legacy companies. So legacy companies get lazy, disruptors come in, take their market share. Netflix took over Blockbuster, Facebook took over MySpace, Google took over Yahoo. So that's the story of Silicon Valley tech company disruptors. So yeah, these days it would be very hard to disrupt Google or Apple, but it's possible, and crazier things have happened. So that's like viewing Bitcoin like a tech company, or even like a technology, the way cars were disruptive to transportation, or the internet was disruptive to publishing or communications. Technologies do come along and disintermediate or obviate the previous best version of the technology. I believe that argument fundamentally misunderstands two things. The first one, protocols, not technologies or tech companies, but protocols are winner take all. So Bitcoin is a digital value transfer protocol. Think of TCP/IP as an analogy. TCP/IP is a protocol layer that underpins the internet. These protocols are the clear winner. Essentially, nobody is competing to replace those protocols. Those are winner take all, and anyone who builds on the internet builds on top of those existing protocols. It's not necessary and it's not advantageous to compete with those protocols. Your odds of success and the value you stand to gain is far greater building on top of them. Is it completely impossible that the entire global internet could one day run on a better protocol than TCP/IP, or that email could be replaced? Of course, anything is possible. So my point in this video is not to argue that those things are impossible. My point is, if you have a choice on what to bet on, you're making a risk-reward calculation on where you want to bet when you're essentially choosing to invest in Bitcoin versus other cryptocurrencies. And if you have a choice to make a wager on the future, are you better off wagering that the protocol that underpins the entire global internet, in this analogy, will get replaced? And not only that, but that you will successfully pick the winner. Because remember, okay, this analogy is about Bitcoin versus other altcoins. So if you're betting that Bitcoin will get replaced, Bitcoin has been the market dominator for 16 years, and there's no other altcoin that's ever come close. So if you're betting that TCP/IP essentially will get replaced, and you're betting that you'll also be able to successfully pick the winner out of a haystack of now literally millions of other altcoins, all that effort just in the name of not buying what is already the clear winner, to me is a huge waste of time and energy when you could just buy Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's market dominance today in the cryptocurrency space is over 60%. And if you take out stable coins, it's close to 70%. So all the value and total market cap of all other cryptocurrencies combined do not equal Bitcoin. So we're 16 years in, it has the strongest network effects. It is the clear winner at this point. Your choice is whether to bet that that clear winner will get not only replaced, that you'll be able to successfully pick which other coin is going to be the winner. Bitcoin is the base protocol layer for the digital transmission of value. So it's like buying a share of the early internet. If the TCP/IP protocol had a token that was issued or a share of it that you could buy like a stock at the very beginning, and you would share in all subsequent value built on top of that protocol. As the entire world continues to adopt and build on top of the internet, all that value accrues to you. Or you could go outside of that and bet that there's a competitor that's going to win and that you think it will beat out and replace the entire existing network effects. And you have to guess which other protocol is going to do that. When in 16 years, none of them's come close. Why haven't they come close? Because Bitcoin is already the most trusted, most tested, most secure, most decentralized. So arguments for other cryptocurrencies come in and say, no, don't use that. It's too slow. Use ours because it's faster. And it's faster, so it'll scale better. There's something called the blockchain trilemma. So security, decentralization, and scalability. You cannot optimize for all three simultaneously. You can only optimize for two, and you have to make concessions on the third. So Bitcoin chose to optimize for security and decentralization because at the base layer, those are fundamentally the most important. Without those two, it's unlikely you're going to scale anyways. So it's essentially irrelevant to optimize for scalability at the base layer. It's perfectly normal to optimize for other things on subsequent layers. So you build on top of the base layer and you can optimize for scalability on another layer. So the entire world has already recognized and agreed that Bitcoin is the most secure and the most decentralized. But altcoins want to argue, no, we scale better. Yes, to improve speed and scalability, they have compromised on security and or decentralization. So my question to you is, do you think the entire rest of the world, including adversaries like competing companies, competing countries, will choose the less secure, more centralized version over the more secure one? These altcoins that are essentially much more like technology companies, much more like centralized organizations, come in and say, no, don't use that secure, decentralized version. Use our more private, less secure, less decentralized version. Again, you are free to bet that that will replace Bitcoin, But in my opinion, it's not a wise bet, especially when we're talking about money. So we're not just talking about any technology. Security and decentralization matter most when we're talking about money, which brings me to my second point. Monetary goods converge to one. Throughout human history, different goods have competed to be used as money. History shows that's a winner-take-all competition. Multiple winners only exist in closed systems. So there's instances in history where shells and beads worked fine for a time until they encountered gold. Gold is harder money, and those who hold their wealth in shells and beads see it go to zero against gold. The weaker money goes to zero against the harder money over time, every time. Yes, right now multiple fiat currencies exist, but governments try to prop them up by closing the loop with regulations and capital controls, and it doesn't last forever. All fiat currencies devalue against gold because gold is still harder money. You can argue that fiat money replaced gold, but it didn't undermine gold's case as a store of value. It simply subverted the medium of exchange use case because gold has issues when it's used as a medium of exchange. When it comes to storing value, gold still stores its value and appreciates against all other fiat currencies because it's harder money. In other words, all fiat currencies go to zero against gold on a long enough time horizon. Monetary goods converge to one. It's winner take all, and if you hold your wealth in the weaker money, you will lose purchasing power against the harder money every time. For thousands of years, gold was the hardest money on earth. Guess what? Bitcoin is now here as the hardest money on earth. Not only does the protocol analogy hold for why Bitcoin defeats shitcoins, but the study of money shows why Bitcoin demonetizes all weaker forms of money in the long run. Bitcoin better fits the properties of money, which are durability, divisibility, portability, fungibility, verifiability, and scarcity. And Bitcoin is the scarcest money on earth due to its scheduled supply issuance and its total finite supply. What that means is Bitcoin will suck all the value out of all fiat currencies, and it will suck all the monetary premium out of other stores of value like gold, real estate, bonds. Again, you're free to make bets on other things, but don't make the mistake of thinking Bitcoin is Netflix and there's some other better streaming technology coming around the corner to take it down. That's not how protocols work, and that's not how money works. And the stakes are higher because when it's winner take all, there's only one winner. And if you miss the boat, you're betting on a loser, and on a long enough time horizon, you're headed to zero. Got a comment or a question, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, share it with somebody you think might enjoy it, and thank you for watching.